Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, here we go. We are kicking off the second quarter, second hour already on this Monday morning of June 15th. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your start this morning if you are already up and at it. Plenty of Brewers talk coming your way this morning. We spent the first hour talking Jacob Misiorowski, the series win against the Phillies, the call-up of Cooper Pratt. Brewers have the off day today, so we'll wait to preview this series against the Cleveland Guardians coming your way starting tomorrow. But still lots to – we'll revisit some of the Brewers chat that we had in that first hour. Continue to send me your texts, though, and your thoughts on one Jacob Misiorowski. Is he the most dominating player in Major League Baseball? Not just pitcher, but is he the most dominating player in Major League Baseball? Make your case why or why not. If you don't think he is, who then would you say? Is it still maybe Shohei Ohtani because of what he can do both from a pitching standpoint and offensively? If you do think it's Jacob Misiorowski, is it just because, I mean, he can maybe say, no words needed, just pay attention to what he's doing right now. I think he is. Right now, if we were to power rank it, I think he is the most dominating player in Major League Baseball at this current point in time. Just my opinion. But what's yours? All right? Send them on over. So we'll get back to more Brewers talk. We've got, we'll continue our 250 countdown. I think we're going to knock out some more athletes for our 250 countdown here. So we'll get to that this hour. We've got we got a little Built in the Man Cave segment coming your way later on. We're going to chat with the Eau Claire Express coming up at 9 o'clock for our Monday morning Express chats. We'll do a little Monday morning CGPT, our Monday morning chat GPT, where we like to play Monday morning quarterback. So we're going to put it to the test for AI. See if they agree or disagree with one of the decisions from this the past week or so, right? It's, again, if you're just like, what is it? We started this off last week. It'll definitely be a thing, especially during football season. But like your Monday morning quarterback, where you're kind of doubting a decision, a move made by a coach, a player, whatever the case may be, a GM for a trade. Well, we'll see what the machines, what the AI, the artificial intelligence says, whether they agree or disagree with what humans did out there. So, all right, get to that coming up here too. But let's kick off the second hour with a little VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. You can send your picks, send them on over to that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912, or you can join in on the Section 105 chat with your picks. Best of the weekend, let's not kid ourselves. There's a lot, and I don't really think there's a right or wrong answer. Let me rephrase it. There is a lot when it comes to the Brewers. If that's where we're going to go with this, and honestly, I'm not going to overthink it. This is where I'm going to be going with mine. But I think, we could go Jackson Churio, we could go Kyle Harrison, but let's not kid ourselves. I'm not going to overthink it. It's Jacob Misiorowski. What we saw Friday night from Jacob Misiorowski was special. It was historic. It was memorable. Whatever word you want to use to describe, it was awesome. And it is my easy pick for best and worst in the week. And he continues to set the bar so dang high right now. So dang high. And we're going to be asking probably ourselves, what I'm already asking. I think a lot of people are already asking, what next? What next for Jacob Misiorowski? What else is he going to do? Perfect game now? Sets the bar high where if he goes out there and has a game where he goes 6 innings and maybe gives up a couple earned runs and like 8 strikeouts, still with a win, but we're going to say, man, what's wrong with Jacob Misiorowski? That's the bar he's setting. Worst from the weekend, Chad Patrick. I think now you look at Chad Patrick here, and it might be a little bit of a nitpick here, but you look at his last 2 games. Vegas against the A's and the Phillies. You look at those last 2 games. He has given up 8 straight hits over those 2 appearances and charged with 7 earned runs. You kind of thought, okay, Vegas, maybe a little bit of a fluke, but in that situation on Saturday against the Phillies, the amount of hits that he gave up and those earned runs, I think right now my worst in the weekend's got to be Chad Patrick. Hopefully he bounces back. Hopefully it's nothing. It's just a little bit of a slump, and he'll be able to overcome it and get back to the Chad Patrick that we know and love. I think we will. Unless it's something that we find out is like an injury thing or what, but I think we will. I got confidence in him, and I got confidence in this coaching staff for the Brewers that they are going to be able to figure out Chad Patrick and get him to bounce back. So that's my best and worst from the weekend. Should acknowledge, too, we have a couple championships crowned in the last 24 hours. The Knicks taking down the Spurs in Game 5 to capture the NBA championship. And then Carolina, after dropping the first couple games in their series against Vegas, coming back and, well, they now hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. So we've got 2 champions crowned. And now when it comes to the NBA, all eyes now shift to, one, the draft, but also Giannis. One rumor that is out there, Bill Simmons. He has said that, and he is a big Boston fan, big Boston Celtics fan, okay? But he says the Celtics reportedly made an offer to the Bucks for Giannis last week and said that Boston has, quote, dove in on the Giannis sweepstakes. So that comes off the heels of where the Heat was the hot name, the hot team. But now the clock is ticking. There was also another rumor I saw over the weekend, too, that the Bucks actually are looking to trade up in the draft, but maybe want 3 first-round picks for this year's draft. If that is legit, where they want 3 first-round picks for this year's draft, I mean, we could, you know the game plan here at this point. But clock's ticking on that soft deadline for the NBA draft as the date to trade Giannis by. Just as a reminder, the NBA draft coming your way next Tuesday. So we may be just a week away or less than a week away from finding out whether Giannis is going to be traded or not. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to switch gears here for just a little bit and continue our top 250 countdown. But still hit me up with your takes on Misiorowski and the Brewers and Cooper Pratt. What is your realistic expectations when it comes to Cooper Pratt now that he is being called up? What's your realistic expectations? Okay? Hit me up. We'll take a quick break, and we'll continue our 250 countdown coming up after these few words. All right, here we go. The third quarter kicks off right now. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you're all off to a fantastic start, and thanks for hanging out with us. If you're up and at it, which you should be. It's 8 o'clock, unless you work late and this, different hours and such. Yeah, totally get that. Totally understandable. But we're going to get back to some more Brewers talk here in just a little bit. But if you're just tuning in for the first time, we spent the first hour talking Cooper Pratt. Brewers taking 2 out of 3 against the Phillies. We'll revisit some of that conversation, but a question that was thrown out there in the first hour and kind of our maybe informal poll question, if you will. Let me rephrase that. Is Jacob Hizorowski not only the most dominating pitcher in Major League Baseball, but is he the most dominating player right now in Major League Baseball? Yes or no? Yes or no? Continue to hit me up with your picks. I will just say a wide majority of you say yes. Yes, he is. A few of you still went Shohei Ohtani. That's kind of where it's between those two. So we'll get back to some of your comments and such on that. We've got a little new daily segment coming your way a little bit later on called Built in the Man Cave. It's just kind of an opinion piece and such. So explain that a little bit more when we get to it. But let's kick off this hour with our new feature that we started last Monday. And this will really kind of kick into gear during a football season. But, man, we can still do it. It's Monday morning. What happens on Monday mornings? It's Monday morning quarterbacking. Should have done this, should have done that, would have done this, would have been better, would have won if they would have done this. Everybody is a Monday morning quarterback in the sports world, right? Well, this one didn't happen over the weekend. But anyways, so what we're going to do with this with Monday morning quarterback is, all right, we're going to take some of the bigger decisions that affected games, the outcome of games or whatever or a trade or anything like that. And we'll put it into ChatGPT and see if the AI, the artificial intelligence world out there, agrees with the human world in some of the decisions. So this one, it was actually a few days ago, but this is really going to be kind of the example on Monday morning after Packers games where we're going to really use this. But I threw in there, hey, and we got to come up with a name for our AI coach here. So if anybody's got a good suggestion, let me know. I'm open. But I threw the question out there from our June 10th game, Brewers Athletics, the Brandon Sproat game, where he was pulled after 6 innings, giving up just 1 earned run, and he was only at 68 pitches. Brewers ended up losing that game. They had a 3-1 lead, but they ended up losing that game. And you had a lot of fans saying Pat Murphy should have left Brandon Sproat in there. So I asked our AI manager, coach, whatever the nameless one, what would you have done in this situation? Gave them all the details. And the decision from AI was they agreed with Pat Murphy's decision to pull to pull Brandon Sproat. Their reasoning, let's just kind of go through this was, says, I understand manager Pat Murphy's logic. Sproat's issue all season had been maintaining the effectiveness deeper into his outings, and there was a discussion afterward that the Brewers have seen him run into trouble around the 75 to 80 pitch range in previous starts. So the decision really comes down to this question. Would you rather trust Sproat facing the lineup a third time or trust Chad Patrick with a fresh inning? Before the game unfolded, most managers would probably say Chad Patrick. Patrick had been one of Milwaukee's more reliable bullpen arms, and nobody expected him to give up 3 runs on 8 pitches. The result makes the move look worse than it probably was. Agrees with Pat Murphy's approach. There you have it. I know a lot of people were saying they should have kept him in, but AI agrees with Pat Murphy. Speaking of which, Pat Murphy is really dealing with some hip issues. I don't know if he's going to have surgery or what, but I mean, he's having some major issues where he can't even walk out there to do pitching changes. He's been like sitting on the bench and such. So something maybe to kind of keep an eye on there. I haven't seen whether he needs to have surgery or anything, but got a long ways to go yet in this season. So hopefully it's something he can get better at and such. But Brewers have the off day today after a very good weekend of taking 2 out of 3 against the Phillies. I didn't think they were going to have a shot yesterday. I know Harrison was on the mound, but I mean, you're going up against Sanchez, and hey, Blake Perkins is like his kryptonite. For whatever reason, Blake Perkins is his kryptonite, and had a great game against him. Jackson Chourio has been playing incredibly well here for the Brewers, too. I mean, he continues to just stay hot from the plate. Absolutely sizzling hot from the plate. This kid is fun to watch, man. Fun to watch. But the story from the weekend was Jacob Misiorowski. Friday night's legendary and epic performance on the mound. And there's been a lot of articles, it'll be a talking point across the radio to begin the week, no matter what programs you listen to. And there's a new one up on ESPN.com. If you go to the mothership, right on the MLB's homepage is Jacob Misiorowski, and a new article that was dropped this morning. The writer opens it up by saying, it was apparent, the writer is David Schoenfield, it was apparent Jacob Misiorowski was doing something special on Friday night when, despite being without Wi-Fi and living in a cell phone dead zone, I saw a few stray text messages that managed to get through the half bar of service. Miz is going to strike out 23 tonight. Not a bad start. 9 Ks and 3 1/3. Best I could tell, the record for Ks in a Maddox is 13. Miz has tied it and only thrown 75 through 7. Hope they let him roll. Miz did it. 1 hit Maddox, 15 Ks. Wow, amazing. We went through like Sarah Lang's 13 facts from that game. And there's probably more. You've probably seen other ones. They're flooded all over the place. It was kind of running out of words to describe that game. William Contreras, his catcher, said after the game, quote, "This is not a normal pitcher. I think he can go out there and throw 100 fastballs and get through a game." And he is kind of just still running out of words to describe what we're seeing with Misiorowski. And I know a lot of Brewers fans are already saying best pitcher in Brewers history. I got those messages. I saw those messages. I thought about that. I don't know if I'm ready there yet. We're just talking about 1 year. I don't know if I could say best Brewers pitcher of all time. But I think I would be comfortable in saying most dominating Brewers pitcher of all time. And that's kind of our built in the man cave segment here. Built in the man cave is just a thought, been thinking about for a little bit. And, spent some time not on the fly, thinking about it at night, the night before the program. And just one thought, one discussion point that's kind of been thrown out there. And just taking some time to think about it. An opinion built while relaxing maybe in the man cave. And I can't give Misiorowski the title of best Brewers pitcher yet. I think it's the sexy thing to do right now. It's the recent thing to do right now. There is absolutely 100% of a possibility we could be saying this about Jacob Misiorowski in a couple years or in a few years, whatever. I think that trend, that trajectory is completely on the table. No question about it. He easily could accomplish that feat. I just can't do it right now, 1 year into his career. But I can buy into he is the most dominating pitcher that the Brewers have had. And that with him being only 1 year into his career. Because what he is doing is silly. It's ridiculous. I mean, CC Sabathia was dominating for the Brewers in a half a season. What he was doing in that 2008 run was remarkable too. Mizorowski is, if he's either at that level or a little bit above it. We all get, excited about the fastballs. 104 and a half, throwing 104 in the ninth inning. But don't discredit some of the other pitches, too, that he's been thrown to mix it up. That slider, I mean, he opened up the ninth with a changeup at 92 miles per hour. He mixed in 11 sliders, 7 cutters, 4 curveballs, 4 changeups. So he's got a little bit of an arsenal. And that makes him more lethal. ESPN asked the question, was Mizorowski's performance the best in the past decade? Past decade, was this the best pitching performance we have seen? They threw out a couple other options. They said there's a strong case for that argument. The highest game scores since 2017. You have Mizorowski's game. Justin Verlander, September 1st, 2019, 9 innings pitched, no hits, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts, 120 pitches. Garrett Cole, 9 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 16 strikeouts, 114 pitches on May 4th, 2018. John Means, May 5th, 2021, 9 innings, no hits, no walks, 12 strikeouts, 113 pitches. So, those are just a few of those games that were scored or ranked higher. Or in that same conversation. Maybe the best in the past. Think about that. And I think Mizorowski, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing now, the other thing I've been thinking about, we talk about athletes who transcend the game, change the game. Basketball, Steph Curry, Caitlin Clark. What do you see kids doing these days? Shooting 35-foot jump shots from the logo. The deep shot is the cool thing to do. The deep three is the cool thing to do. Everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants that a part of their game. Now you got a pitcher out here who is throwing 104 miles per hour. Please, kids, if you're listening, you sports coaches, if you're listening, just because Mizorowski's out there and able to do that doesn't mean everybody can go out there and do it. So please don't throw out your elbow at Little League trying to be the next Jacob Mizorowski right now. Get the proper coaching. And coaches, please don't ask your kids to go out there and just throw as hard as possible to try to be the next young up-and-coming Mizorowski. Okay? There's a lot that goes into Jacob Mizorowski and what makes him an amazing, amazing pitcher. Okay? There's a lot. And I know kids, I did it, you did it, they still do it, mine still does it. You emulate your sports heroes. You emulate your favorite sports athletes and players. Don't emulate or try to emulate Jacob Mizorowski right now. Just don't. If you're like 8 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old, don't try to emulate him right now. You don't throw out your elbow at this age. Mizorowski is not a human. He's like an alien. He's inhuman. This is incredibly rare stuff that we are seeing. You can emulate Steph Curry on the basketball courts, in your driveway, chucking up those three-pointers, or Caitlin Clark. You can emulate your turnaround jumpers. You can do the Dame Time thing or the ice in your veins. You can do a Patrick Mahomes no-look touchdown pass or whatever. Just right now, try not to emulate Jacob Mizorowski, because this is a kind of a freak of nature. It's just physically rare. But enjoy it as a fan, okay? I plead with all of you Brewers fans. I know there's some fans out there that are saying, okay, he's going to blow out his arm. He's going to blow out his elbow, this, that. I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. It could happen. But I beg you, enjoy what you are watching right now. Don't think about what could happen, because we don't know. But what we do know right now is what we're watching right now. What we're watching right now and what we're following right now is a pretty awesome thing in the sports world. I mean, when I've got Cubs people even saying, dude, this is awesome, or man, you guys got a good tip of the cap. Just embrace the now. Enjoy the now. We don't know what tomorrow's going to be. We don't know what a couple years is going to be like. Embrace what you're witnessing with the Miz kid. It's fun. It's electric. It's must watch. It's must listen. Every time he is up now as a starter, it was already like this, but it's upped at another level. But Miz is must watch. When it's his turn in the rotation, must watch. I wouldn't be surprised now that even, if Brewers fans, they're going to try to see when Miz is pitching and okay, that's the ticket. Or tickets to games that Mizorowski's pitching, another price increase. It's must watch. All right, we got to take a quick break. More Brewers talk, though. Cooper Pratt. He's getting called up. Going to make his debut tomorrow when the Brewers are back in action. What should a realistic expectation be for Cooper Pratt now that he is about to begin his big league career? We'll talk about the new shortstop coming up after these few words. Don't forget to get your two-person team signed up right now for the 6th annual Casper Classic, teeing off Friday, August 7th at Lake Hallie Golf Course for just $90 for your two-person team. Not 90 per person, 90 total for your two-person team. You'll get your 9 holes, your carts, your lunch, a couple drink tickets, and all proceeds going to help fund backyard dreams. If you are interested in maybe being a whole sponsor or donating a raffle prize, because all 100% of the proceeds go to help fund backyard dreams, please reach out. So we would love the help. We would love the help. So more details to sign up your two-person team, just go to our website, sportstalk1051.com, WAYYradio.com, and you can sign up right there. You'll see the icon located up there. So Cooper Pratt, he's going to be called up. Kind of was the thought yesterday after video surfaced, him getting pulled 6th inning of the Nashville Sounds game. He was doing some hugs and such, and well, it was reported by Bob Nightingale and then confirmed by Adam McCulvey. Nothing official yet from the Brewers, but there will have to be a corresponding move made, and there is some thought it could be Luis Rengifo, whether it's maybe a trip to the IL or maybe he gets designated for assignment. I know Adam McCulvey in this piece kind of talks about, Cooper play third. I think you call up Cooper Pratt, one, he's playing for sure. He's in the starting lineup. You don't call him up and then he's a bench guy. He is playing. He will make his start tomorrow. And then I think you put him at short. If you truly believe that Cooper Pratt is your long-term starting shortstop, which you did with the contract extension, you put him out there at shortstop. He's already going to be nervous. He's already going to have butterflies. He might be puking in the corner. Going to be antsy, everything. Maybe alleviate just a skosh of that nervousness and pressure by just keeping him at the spot that he's the most comfortable at, which is shortstop. Will there be some maybe communication adjustments between him and Bryce Terang and such? Probably. Maybe a little bit. But you play him at short. And then the question becomes Hamilton or Ortiz at third. It's probably going to be a rotation, I would imagine, at this point in time. But if you had to pick a guy to get the most reps over there, I mean, if you look at it straight from an offensive number standpoint, it might be Hamilton. But David Hamilton this year, 231, an on base of a 316. OPS is a 636. He's got 3 home runs, 14 stolen bases, and 11 RBIs. Joey Ortiz, meanwhile, 1 home run, 207 average, 299 on base, and a 561 OPS. I honestly feel like it's probably going to be, you might have a situation where it's lefty-righty matchup based until they figure out what exactly they are going to do at third base. For what it's worth, so far this season, David Ortiz has played more games at third. 32 games at third, 29 games at short, 8 games at second base. And we know David Ortiz can play third. We've seen it. We've seen it for a full season. I don't know if him moving back to third necessarily means that the offense is going to get better for him because the offense was good when he was playing at third base. But we'll wait and see. But, here we go. Here's another Jan. No, I'll wait for that. But, yeah, I don't think there should be any question. There shouldn't be any debate about where to play Cooper Pratt when he's going to make his debut. It's shortstop, and you leave him at shortstop. But what should a realistic expectation be for Cooper Pratt? It's tough. You'd like to see the guy go out there and, hit 280. 270, 275. He has stolen, 17 bases so far at AAA this year? You'd like to see that. And you don't necessarily want to be patient. You can't, I understand some of the fans saying, got to be patient with him, got to be patient. Well, you're in first place. And you just had Pat Murphy a couple weeks ago say, we're not rebuilding. So, yeah, Cooper Pratt needs to be a contributor. It's not just, he can't just be out there and, all right, this is just, gaining some experience. Better for the future. He needs to be a contributor. And the Brewers obviously think now he can be that contributor and help them improve, continue to be better. I don't think there's going to be any worry or any concern about his defense. It's going to boil down to offense. And that's where a lot of fans are going to be paying attention to him. Is what is he going to do from an offensive standpoint for the Brewers to get better production from the left side of the infield? That's what we want to see. That's where we want to see an improvement. And honestly, the bar is pretty low right now when you look at the offensive production that has come from the left side of the infield. So the bare minimum of expectations that you may have for Cooper Pratt might not be like you're asking too much. So right now, if you look at his AAA numbers so far this season, 241. 6 doubles, 4 triples, 6 homers, 17 stolen bases, 735 OPS. He did start the season off slow, but he has been much better these last few weeks. If you just take those numbers, let's say his average is 241 and a 735 OPS. And that's what he's going to give you for the rest of the season in the major leagues. Do you take that, or is that still a little too low? I think right now I'm taking it, just considering when, some of the numbers we're getting from these other guys. I know the 241 isn't that far off from Hamilton. It's only 10 points. But OPS-wise, Hamilton is 636. Cooper Pratt's a 735. I guess AAA, but I'm just kind of using this as a base. If that's the base that Cooper Pratt gives you for this season, from an offensive standpoint, 241, 735 OPS. You good with that? Does that hit the mark for you? Satisfied with that? Numbers-wise, technically, yeah, that is an improvement from the left side of the infield, so I'd probably take that. Would I like a little bit more? Oh, yeah, who wouldn't? I want to be greedy. I want that. But I'd probably take that right now. All right, let's take a quick break. Plenty more to get to, though. We'll be right back after these few words. Summer is here, and that means it is the perfect time to give your home a fresh new look with Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire. Whether you are updating a family room, finishing a basement, refreshing a bedroom, or finally tackling that remodeling project that you have been putting off, Carpet City Flooring Center has the flooring options that you're looking for. From beautiful luxury vinyl planks to carpet, tile, and more, you will find quality products and expert guidance every single step of the way. Their experienced team will help you find the right flooring to fit your style, your budget, and your lifestyle too. And with professional installation available, your project can be completed quickly and correctly. Make this summer the summer you transform your home. Stop on into Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and discover why so many area homeowners trust Carpet City Flooring Center for all of their flooring needs. Carpet City Flooring Center, helping you love where you live. So Brian Windhorst from ESPN this morning is out there apparently saying that Giannis wants to go to Miami. That's the place he wants to go to. All right, cool. That's sure we've heard that before. I did have somebody text in and say I don't understand why the Bucks would pacify and make Giannis happy by trading him to a destination that he wants to go to. I think the big part in this, the big reason why that would be the case, is that contract extension. A lot of teams are not going to want to trade for Giannis without reassurance from Giannis that he is going to sign a contract extension. Like that's where it's at. And so that's the tricky thing here for the Bucks is you want to take the best deal possible. But if that team maybe doesn't get the the commitment from Giannis to sign an extension, they may not want to make that deal. Now, maybe there's a team that'll kind of come in and kind of do what the Raptors did a few years ago. Trade for Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi doesn't sign an extension, and he leaves after a year, but they did get the championship. So maybe there's a team that comes in and says, you know what? We'll trade for him, and we're going to take our chances. He's going to play out the year. We'll try to get an extension done with him. We'd love to get an extension done with him, but if he doesn't do that right away, we'll take the risk. We feel like we're maybe a player like him away from winning a championship this year. We're desperate for a championship. And we maybe feel confident that once he gets here, once he plays here, that we can sign him long-term. Maybe there is a team that would do that. But that is the biggest reason that, the Bucks, maybe part of, the Bucks say that, hey, we want to do right by Giannis. He's done so much for us, and that. I give that like maybe a 15% of like, okay, you're kind of being truthful there. You're the Bucks. You get what you can get. You get the best deal that you could possibly get. But you can also say, hey, we're doing Giannis a solid by trading him to the team that he wants to go to. Well, that's because of the contract extension. That's where Giannis does have some say in this thing. He does have a little bit of pull. Because if teams want that reassurance, that commitment from him to sign that extension, then the teams are limited in where the Bucks can trade him. So that's kind of where it's at. Hopefully that answers your question. So deadline, if we believe that deadline, it's coming up next week, though. So we may that Giannis watch. That Giannis watch is it's going to intensify this week, and if you're getting annoyed by all the Giannis talk and where's he going? Is he going? Is he resigning? Is he not? It's going to get worse this week. Just prepare yourself. Mentally prepare that it is going to be worse this week, leading up to next week's draft. So if you don't like it, if you don't like hearing about it, if you don't like talking about it, you probably want to cover your ears or shut your eyes off if you tune into sports shows and such, because that is going to be a big topic this week until something is finalized or a decision is made. It's just the truth. Speculation is going to run rampant. Deadlines spur actions. Deadlines cause some crazy talk. Not all rumors are going to be 100% truthful out there. Some are going to be a little wild. Some of them may be where there's smoke, there's fire. If there was one team, for you as a Bucks fan, okay? If there was one team that you would just not want Giannis to be traded to, whether it's because of the return package that reportedly would be out there, or you just don't want to see him in that jersey, who would it be? Would it be like, I could probably name a few teams. Lakers probably one. Warriors probably another. Celtics I don't think Bucks fans would like. Heat, does it matter to you? Does it? Maybe it's because you don't want Tyler Hero. I don't know. But what would be the one team, or maybe a couple teams, that you don't want to see him suited up for? Or if you're a Giannis fan, on the flip side of this, if you are a Giannis fan, where would you like to see him? Because I think the NBA is such a, and we've talked about this many times, it has become such a individualized sport where I think a lot of fans, not all of them, but there's a good chunk of fans, especially I think younger fans. They're fans of the players and not necessarily fans of the team. I mean, just look at jerseys. You go to Shields, right? There's a bunch of jerseys of players of teams that are not Minnesota or Green Bay or Milwaukee or Wisconsin related, because the NBA, it's individual players are so popular right now. And I think you've got a lot of young fans that just follow the players because there's a lot of movement, too, in the NBA. So if you're just maybe a Giannis fan, maybe it's because you want to see him win another championship and you just want him to go to the best place possible to win another championship, or you just want to see him go and where would be the team that you'd like to see him go to if you are just straight up a Giannis fan? Maybe it's the reverse of where Bucks fans don't want him to go to. Or here's the third part. We talk about athletes and some of these players that, played on different teams, and it just looked weird. What would be like the weirdest one for Giannis? You know what I mean? Now, I know these were kind of at the back end of their careers, but a lot is wrong with the Raptors. Ewing with Sonics or Magic. Even Brady with the Bucks was a little weird. Favre, Jets, and Vikings and such. What would be like the weirdest one? have a little fun with that and think about it. And if you want to chime in, hey, hit me up with a text on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line. All right, 715-830-1912. We'll take a quick break and back to wrap up the third quarter coming up after these few words. Looking for the perfect summer hangout? Well, then you need to make your way to the VFW Post 305 in Eau Claire. Enjoy some beautiful views overlooking the river, some great food, cold beverages, and some of the best live local music that you will find anywhere in the Chippewa Valley. Whether you're meeting friends after work or spending a summer evening outdoors, the VFW Post 305 is the place to be. Great views, great music, great times. That's the VFW Post 305 in Eau Claire. Coming up in about 15 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour, we'll chat with Dale Varsho, manager for the Eau Claire Express. He'll be joining us past 9 o'clock here. So we'll get his take on the Express winning their last two games. A nice weekend sweep against Thunder Bay. We got lacrosse coming to town tonight for a 2-game series. And then Wausau coming to town on Wednesday, and then Duluth, on the road to Duluth, and back home for a couple more games here, too. So quite a few games for the Express here at Carson Park. If you haven't been to a game yet, well, here's your chance. Plus Father's Day weekend coming up this weekend, too. So if you got looking for something to do with Dad or go watch a baseball game with Dad, here you go. Express game this weekend. You got opportunities to do so. Speaking of which, if you're looking for Dad to take Dad out for breakfast or brunch too, we were just talking about the VFW Post 305. Got the VFW Post 305 brunch going on too. So lots of options there. You can check them out on Facebook for the menu and all the options available for that. So we've got Rando says, would not want to see the Greek Freak going to the Lakers for any trade offer. As a fan, the Spurs would be fun. Can you imagine Giannis and Wemby in the front court? Jay Billis would have a field day with one of his favorite words, wingspan. You might as well just have those two guys kind of just outside the paint, but then just spread their arms out for a wingspan and say, good luck driving by. Teams would have to be outside shooters to have success trying to drive the lane going up against a potential Wemby and Giannis. Don't think that one would happen, but who's the surprise team? I feel like there's got to be a surprise team in this whole situation when it comes to Giannis. Maybe part of it is because I do want a surprise team. But how you feeling on the Giannis gauge? 1 to 10, do you think we're going to have that decision by next week or not? I'm at about a 7.3 that we will. 10 saying yep. 0 saying nope. I'm still at about a 7.3. So, all right, continue to send me your thoughts on Jacob Mizorowski and Cooper Pratt. All right, Jacob Mizorowski, is he the most dominating player in Major League Baseball right now, or do you still maybe give that title to one Shohei Ohtani? Or is it somebody else? Cooper Pratt, what should our bare minimum expectation be for him now that he's going to be making his Major League debut when the Brewers are back in action tomorrow? Remember when the talk about Ohtani was struggling a little bit offensively too? I mean, now he's hitting over 300. He's got 14 home runs and 41 RBIs. So yeah, he's kind of rediscovered it just a bit. 975 OPS. Yeah, he's okay. He's doing okay. His pitching stats, well, right now, let me bring it up here. 11 games, 1.06 ERA, 6-2. Still pretty dominant. So, still pretty dominant. How many Ks does he have? He's got 73 Ks. Okay. Man, that's just, we're in baseball right now. I think if you're a baseball fan, seriously, enjoy this. Enjoy what we're watching. We've got players like Ohtani who are playing two ways. Offensively, they're playing so well. He's pitching incredibly well. You've got guys like Jacob Mizorowski doing what they're doing, Paul Skeens, Aaron Judge. Baseball is just so dang fun right now. Jacob Mizorowski, number 1 in Major League Baseball in ERAs. He is also tied for, second, in WAR, it looks like. Sanchez is 5.1. Mizorowski is a 3.9. K's, Mizorowski, 131. The next is Sanchez at 116, just blowing him by. Walks, too. I mean, Mizorowski's only got 22 walks that he's issued so far this year. WHIP, Mizorowski's number 1, .74. 87 innings pitched. Sanchez has pitched 99 innings. He has played in 15 games. Mizorowski's played 14 games, 87 innings. Honestly, when you kind of put it that way, I mean, his innings count is, even with a complete game shutout, it's not bad. It really isn't. And don't necessarily look at the innings. Look at the pitch counts. Very favorable towards Jacob Mizorowski. His efficiency has been, we could sit here and probably debate on what has been the biggest improvements so far when it comes to Mizorowski. Efficiency has to be up there. Command, control has to be up there. Maturity has to be up there. Everything is on the table. And everybody would probably be right. There's so many different things you can point to that has just been, I think, a big part of the reason why we are seeing a big-time performance from Mizorowski so far this year. And an early front-runner for the Cy Young Award. It's going to be tough in the National League. Those voters are going to have, if everything kind of plays out the same way with everything, Sanchez, Ohtani, Mizorowski, you can throw Skeens in there if you want. National League voters, they're gonna have a hard time. Hard decision to make when it comes to that National League Cy Young. But man, we've got some good baseball going on right now, and I hope everybody's enjoying it and embracing it and taking advantage of it too. Not just Brewers, but all across the league. All right, shot clock's going to cut me off in 30 seconds, so we'll kick off the final hour here with our express chats on every Monday morning. We'll catch up with Mr. Dale Varsho. We'll get back to some more Brewers talk here as well. It's an off day here for the crew, but getting set for a series, another big series coming up here with the Guardians coming to town. So maybe a little early preview of that. So keep the convo coming, though. Hit me up with a text.